The red blade carved through the morning mist of Ruusan like a beacon of rage, and Lord Khan's body crumpled to the mud with a wet thud that echoed across the battlefield. Around them, thousands of Sith warriors froze, their weapons still raised, watching as Darth Bane stood over their fallen leader, his massive frame heaving with exertion and purpose. The rain began to fall harder now, washing the blood from his scarred face as he lifted his lightsaber high above his head. The Brotherhood of Darkness dies today, but the Sith are eternal. A Zabrak warrior near the front ranks, his face painted with the traditional markings of his clan, dared to speak. "You've killed our leader, Bane! The Jedi will destroy us all now!" Bane turned slowly, deliberately, his yellow eyes blazing brighter than the lightning that split the sky above. "No, fool! I've saved you from weakness. Khan would have had us all die in some ridiculous display of mutual annihilation. His precious thought bomb. What victory is there in death? What power can the dead wield?" The assembled Sith began to murmur, some gripping their weapons tighter, others lowering them slightly. In the distance, the Jedi forces waited on the ridge, no doubt sensing the disturbance, the shift in the dark side that rippled outward like waves from a stone dropped in still water. "I offer you something different. Not extinction disguised as glory, but an empire that will stand for 1,000 years. Not hidden in shadows like cowards, but standing proud beneath a crimson sun. The Republic thinks us scattered, weak, fighting amongst ourselves. Let them learn the price of that assumption." A young Sith apprentice, barely out of her teens, stepped forward. Her name was Xana, and though she did not know it yet, she would become Bane's greatest general. "And if we refuse your leadership, then face me now and we'll battle this the Sith way. But know this, every moment we waste fighting each other, the Jedi grows stronger. Every drop of Sith blood we spill in these pointless feuds waters the ground for Republic flowers." The rain intensified, turning the battlefield into a sea of mud and memory. Bodies of the fallen, both Sith and Jedi, lay scattered like broken dolls, testament to days of brutal combat. But something new was stirring in the Force, something that would reshape the galaxy for millennia to come. Darth Cognis, an elder Sith sorceress whose visions had earned her respect even from Khan, pushed through the crowd. Her blind eyes somehow saw more than those with sight, and she had seen this moment in dreams that tasted of iron and ambition. "The Force shows me two paths. In one, we die here, all of us, in a burst of thought and fury that leaves only shadows and regret. In the other, the galaxy burns with our glory for 1,000 years. Pretty words. But the Jedi outnumber us. The Republic has resources we can only dream of. The Jedi outnumber us? Good. More glory to be won. The Republic has resources? Then we'll take them. We are Sith. We don't beg for scraps from the galaxy's table. We feast on worlds." Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you're enjoying this content so far, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch these videos without subscribing. Imagine what we could accomplish if everyone subscribed. We all thank you for your continued support. From the Jedi lines, Master Hoth watched through macro binoculars, his weathered face growing grimmer by the moment. Beside him, a young knight named Farfalla adjusted his ornate armor nervously. "They're not destroying themselves. By the Force, they're actually uniting. Send word to Coruscant immediately. Tell the Council. Tell them the war has not ended. It has evolved." Back in the valley, Bane had begun to outline his vision with the precision of a master strategist and the passion of a zealot. "We divide the galaxy into sectors, each ruled by a Sith Lord powerful enough to hold it. But unlike Khan's Brotherhood of Equals, there will be a clear chain of command. A dark council of the strongest among us, and above them, a single voice to guide our destiny. Yours, I suppose? For now, until someone stronger takes it from me. That is the Sith way, not hiding our power, but celebrating it. Not pretending weakness, but acknowledging strength." The rain was beginning to slow, and through the breaking clouds, the first ray of blood-red sunset painted the valley. It was as if the Force itself was setting the stage for what would come next. And the Jedi? They won't simply accept this, they'll come for us with everything they have. Let them come. We'll meet them with fleets that darken the skies, with academies that train not dozens, but thousands of Sith warriors, with fortresses on 100 worlds that will take generations to fall, if they fall at all. Over the following weeks, as the Jedi retreated to lick their wounds and debate their next move, Bane's new Sith Order took shape with frightening efficiency. The weak were culled, not through mass murder, but through trials that separated those with true power from those who merely played at darkness. The strong were elevated, given territories to conquer and hold, their success or failure determining their position in the new hierarchy. The Zabrak warrior who had first challenged Bane became one of his most loyal generals, leading the conquest of 3 systems in the Outer Rim before the Republic even realized what was happening. His name was Maul, not the Maul who would come later, but an ancestor whose legacy of open warfare would echo through his bloodline for generations. You know, Khan would have had us hide after Rosan, pretend we were beaten, Khan confused survival with victory. A beaten dog that hides in shadows is still a beaten dog, but a wolf that shows its teeth, that claims its territory openly, that is something to fear. My lords, we've intercepted a transmission from the Jedi Council. They're calling for a full mobilization. Every Jedi in the galaxy is being recalled to Coruscant. All of them in one place? How thoughtful. Should we send a thank you note? In a manner of speaking, send word to all our forces. We're going to give the Republic something they haven't had in centuries, a proper war. The months that followed would be remembered as the opening thunder, when the new Sith Empire announced itself not through whispered threats or hidden manipulations, but through coordinated strikes on 17 different Republic installations simultaneously. The Jedi, so used to fighting a scattered, disorganized army, found themselves facing disciplined Sith battalions supported by converted local forces who saw opportunity in chaos. On Coruscant, the Senate erupted into arguments that lasted days. Senator Valorum, ancestor to the one who would come later, stood at the central podium, his voice hoarse from hours of debate. We cannot negotiate with terrorists. Terrorists? They control entire systems. They have a functioning government, a military command structure, and whether we like it or not, the support of millions who see them as liberators from core world tyranny. In the Jedi Temple, the Council sat in emergency session that seemed to never end. Master Hoth, his hair now completely white from the stress of constant warfare, addressed his fellow masters with grim determination. They're not hiding anymore. This changes everything. Our entire strategy, our way of life, even our connection to the Force, all of it must adapt, or we face extinction. We are keepers of the peace, not soldiers. Then we'll be peaceful corpses. The Sith have given us two choices, evolve or die. I know which I prefer. The transformation of the Jedi from peacekeepers to generals would take generations, and with each passing year, something precious would be lost. Meditation gave way to military strategy. Philosophy yielded to tactical doctrine. The lightsaber, once a symbol of justice, became just another weapon of war. In a grand citadel constructed on Ziost, the ancient Sith homeworld they had reclaimed, the First Dark Council convened. 7 Sith Lords, each commanding fleets and armies, each nursing ambitions that could swallow stars. Lord Zana, now in her prime, commanded the northern territories with an iron fist wrapped in silk. Darth Cognus controlled the mystical worlds where the Force itself seemed to pool like water in ancient basins. Darth Millennial, a philosophical warrior who wrote treatises between battles, held the scholarly systems where knowledge was power made manifest. And at the head of the table, Darth Bane presided like a dark sun around which these violent planets orbited. We have a problem. The Republic is adapting faster than anticipated. Their new clone program will take years to implement, by which time we'll have corrupted half their Senate and accomplished what? We're repeating the mistakes of the old Sith, fighting among ourselves while our enemies unite. Bane's hand slammed on the table with enough force to crack the ancient stone. Enough! This is exactly what I meant to prevent. We are not equals scheming against each other. We are a hierarchy, a pyramid of power with clear lines of succession and command. Your pyramid, with you conveniently at the top. Yes, until one of you is strong enough to take it from me. That's the beauty of our way. It's honest. No hidden daggers, no secret plots. You want my throne? Challenge me. Here. Now. The silence that followed spoke volumes. They all wanted it, but none were ready. Not yet. By the time of what would have been the High Republic era, the galaxy map looked like a shattered mirror, with Sith territories interweaving with Republic space in a complex tapestry of contested borders and uneasy neutral zones. Some sectors changed hands every few decades. Others became so fortified that both sides simply accepted them as permanent fixtures. The Starlight Beacon, that great symbol of Republic expansion and hope, never survived its first year. Sith saboteurs, working openly rather than in secret, turned it into a burning monument to the Republic's hubris. But in response, the Republic built something harder, military stations that bristled with weapons and housed Jedi warrior monks who had forgotten what peace even meant. When Plagueis came to power, he wasn't a secret master pulling strings, but a member of the Dark Council whose experiments with life and death were conducted in vast laboratories on Sith worlds. His research into midi-chlorians wasn't hidden. It was celebrated, funded by an empire that saw the manipulation of life itself as the ultimate expression of power over the Force. Imagine an army of Force users, created, not born, loyal not by choice, but by design. Abomination. Evolution. The Republic breeds their clones. Why shouldn't we breed something better? When young Palpatine emerged from the Naboo political scene, he did so not as a hidden Sith, but as an openly dark side diplomat, representing Sith interests in neutral territories. His election to the Senate wasn't a secret manipulation, but a controversial victory that split the galaxy. How can we allow a Sith in the Senate? How could we not? I represent 17 systems who have chosen Sith governance. Would you deny them a voice simply because you disagree with their choice? The Clone Wars, when they came, weren't a manufactured conflict, but a genuine explosion of centuries of tension. Sith-controlled systems finally moved to claim the core worlds. Republic forces, led by Jedi generals who had been preparing for this moment for generations, met them head-on. And in the middle of it all, a young slave boy from Tatooine was discovered, not by a wandering Jedi on a mission of peace, but by competing Force users from both sides who sensed his potential from across the stars. The Jedi offer you chains disguised as peace. I offer you the power to forge your own destiny, to end this war not through negotiation, but through strength. And the cost? Everything weak within you. You tell me, young Skywalker, what has weakness ever given you but sand and servitude? The galaxy that emerged from these wars wasn't ruled by a single emperor hiding behind emergency powers, but a council of Sith Lords who divided the galaxy between them like ancient warlords dividing conquered lands. Each sector became a feudal kingdom where the strong ruled and the ambitious plotted. The rebellion that rose against them wasn't fighting a single Death Star, but dozens of superpowers, each controlled by a different Sith Lord who viewed it as both a tool of oppression and insurance against their rivals. And perhaps most importantly, the Sith never fell. When Palpatine died, killed not by Vader's redemption, but by 3 rival Sith Lords working in temporary alliance, the Empire simply restructured. When the rebellion destroyed one Sith stronghold, 2 more competed to fill the vacuum. This was Bane's true legacy, not a pair of Sith hiding in shadows for 1,000 years, but an eternal conflict that shaped every aspect of galactic civilization. The Jedi never relaxed into complacency because the threat never went away. The Republic never grew soft because war was constant. And the Sith never destroyed themselves because their competition had structure, rules, a pyramid of power that channeled ambition rather than letting it run wild. In the end, standing on that muddy field in Ruusan, Darth Bane had chosen war over peace, openness over secrecy, and empire over conspiracy. And in doing so, he had created a galaxy where the dark and light sides of the Force would clash not in hidden movements and secret revelations, but in great battles that would echo through eternity. The ancient Sith citadel on Ziost still stands in this timeline, its spires reaching toward the stars that have watched 1,000 battles between Jedi and Sith. In its great hall, statues of the Dark Council members tower over visitors, Bane at the center, his stone eyes still seeming to burn with the ambition that reshaped the galaxy. And somewhere in that galaxy, the war continues. Not the hidden war of assassinations and secret apprentices, but the open war of clashing civilizations, where every citizen knows that they live in a galaxy divided, where the Force itself seems to demand conflict, and where peace, if it ever comes, will not be earned through the patient plans of a hidden few, but through the struggles of billions who must choose, every day, which vision of the galaxy they will fight to create. The thought bomb never detonated on Ruusan, the Sith never hid, the rule of 2 never existed, and the galaxy burned brighter for it, even if that light was often the red of spilled blood and the orange of burning worlds. Because in the end, Darth Bane was right about one thing: the Sith were eternal, not as shadows, but as a dark sun that would never set, forcing the galaxy to live forever in the twilight between day and night, between peace and war, between the light and dark sides of the Force. The saga continues, not in a galaxy far, far away that knew peace between its wars, but in one where war itself became the only peace anyone remembered. And in that war, heroes and villains weren't separated by hidden knowledge or secret identities, but by the choices they made when both paths were equally clear, equally tempting, and equally powerful. This is the galaxy Bane built, not with patience and shadows, but with passion and fire. And it still burns today. If you enjoyed this journey into the shadows of what might have been, remember to hit that subscribe button and join us for more explorations of the infinite possibilities within that galaxy far, far away. May the Force be with you, always.